Hello, and welcome back to Mady No Filter. Hello, my beautiful friends. I am so excited to be here, sitting on my couch and talking to you guys. One of my favorite things to do now. I also film a lot of my tarot videos right here, too. So, I sit on this couch a lot and talk to you guys. Also, for those of you who are watching, if you're not, if you want to see the video version, I post the video version on YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe. It pushes the videos out to others so they can receive this beautiful energy. If you're watching on YouTube and you see this painting here, this is actually a picture of me. So if you've been wondering, like, what is that in the background? Who is that girl in the background? It's me. It's little Mady. I'll let you guys get a closer look real quick, but that's me at my grandparents' house in Kentucky. I was born in Kentucky, for those of you who didn't know, which is so random, I know. It's too much to get into. But my grandfather is an artist and he made this and gave it to my parents, and my mom still had it and gave it to me when I moved out. So it's a cute little picture of me. And I love having that reminder of my inner child because this age, I didn't care. I would get up on stage and, like, literally, I got up on stage, made up my own dance routine, and got in front of 400 people in an auditorium at my school and performed at a talent show. And I was a one show wonder. Like, I did everything. I choreographed my own routine. I picked the music, all of it. And I was so young. I was so little. I don't know, maybe five. We moved to California when I was 7, so I had to be like 5. My mom can confirm in the comments. But yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care what people thought at that age. I didn't care how I was perceived. I remember the music even, like, stopped. That's when we still had CDs. So that's how old I am, if you wanted to know. I'm like on the cusp of Gen Z and millennial. Like, technically I'm Gen Z, but I feel like I relate a lot more to millennials because I have a lot of, those memories. Yeah, the CD started skipping and they had to redo the music, and I stopped and the show went on and I kept going. I'm so proud of that little version of myself, truly, because she was like a little firecracker and she's still in me. She's coming out a lot more as I am not afraid to be seen and heard. So anyways, that's just a sign to connect to your inner child and remember back to your moments of childhood where you didn't care what people thought, because I think we forget that when we grow up, and we're actually not meant to lose that. We're meant to actually continue to embrace the childlike wonder. When we're children, that's when we're the closest to the higher power as well, and we're not, ambushed with all these mindsets and indoctrinated into certain belief systems and things like that. Like, we're so pure. We're at our purest. And so I feel like my belief is, as we get older, we're actually remembering to connect back to that part of ourself, because that is the part of ourself that fully thrives, and that's our key to freedom. I didn't mean to get all into that, but that is just what this is. It's a flowing conversation between you and I, like we're on FaceTime, and I love that. And I love that you guys get to know parts of me that I don't really get to share that much on other platforms, and not because I don't want to, but it's just I don't have the time to talk about it. But yeah, I really have been connecting a lot to that part of myself, and she comes out a lot. So it's really cute. If you see me giggling a lot, I've been giggling a lot and laughing and finding humor in life lately, and that's my little inner Mady, the little Mady. She's a cutie, and I'm grateful for her and all she went through to get here, which means I love myself, right? Self love is a journey. But what I'm talking about is actually somewhat on topic of what I was going to go into today. As you guys know, I read a lot about, or if you didn't know, I'm a tarot reader. I guess you could call me an intuitive psychic if you really want to put a label on it. I'm not into labels, but I am intuitive. I am psychic. I can predict things, and I am really in tune. So I do have a lot of gifts. I talked about that in the first episode of this podcast if you want to hear the whole spiel of my spiritual awakening. I read a lot about people's love lives and help people, manifest their partner, their romantic partner, a specific person, whatever it is, because you truly can have whatever it is you desire in this life. And my assumption of that, my own perspective, is that as long as you have good intentions behind it and it is for your highest good, right? I'm not going to ever advise to go back to a toxic situation or things like that. There is a little bit of a line that I draw, at least, for what I will and will not advise for people. But I do believe that if it's in your highest good and it is meant to be something good for you that you can have it, you know? What I wanted to talk about is on, being chosen, feeling worthy, feeling enough when it comes to romantic relationships, when it comes to chasing and attracting love, those types of dynamics. And what I see a lot in my clients, and this isn't calling anyone out, this is just a collective. I read a lot of people. I read hundreds of people, and I have a lot of different people I connect with. And when I'm doing love readings, there's that aspect of not feeling enough or not feeling chosen. And that's something that I want to talk about because I do also teach manifestation and I do have a lot of manifestation videos on my YouTube channel. But I do feel like all of this goes back to that self love, that self acceptance, and that self worth. And, everything outside of you, especially in connections and romantic connections, in any connection, truly, I always look at people as a mirror. And that's remained true in my life is people are a mirror. And so if you're attracting in a lot of people who are ghosting you, who are leaving you behind, who are choosing someone over you, it's literally because you're not choosing yourself and you're leaving yourself behind. You're putting your needs on the back burner for someone else. And so they're literally reflecting that back to you by not choosing you. And that was a really hard pill to swallow for me when I was going through this. And I've had a long journey of self love, of healing codependency, of dealing with some things that I dealt with in my childhood that really got me to that point of accepting less than I deserve and attracting in the wrong types of partners romantically. And it's not even me saying these people are horrible or like putting the blame on them. I did that for a while. I did. I put the blame on the other people and I was like, what is going on? Why do I keep attracting in these types of people? Why does this keep happening to me? Me, 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 me. But that was the key factor there was me. What is the issue here? It's me. It is me. It is me because I am assuming that that's how love goes for me. I am assuming that that is what I deserve. And so in turn, I'm attracting it in. So you do have a say because it's the way you show up. I always talk about self-concept, and what self-concept really means is your perceptions and your view of yourself affects your outer reality. I'm not saying you can't be human and you can't feel your emotions and be upset if someone hurts you, but there is a greater understanding that is not always addressed. And so I think that's the key thing missing in a lot of people that are chasing love, or they feel like they're always chasing, they're always the one reaching out to their person and their person isn't chasing them, or their person isn't prioritizing them, or their person isn't doing these things they want them to do. The whole point is you're not doing that for yourself. You're putting your entire focus on this other person. And so what are they doing? They're putting their focus on themselves as well. They are mirroring back to you what you're assuming. So if you're chasing them and you're not focusing on yourself and you're not taking care of yourself, all you care about is them and their feelings and their needs. That's also people pleasing, by the way, which I could go into a lot on that too. But that is like a big ding, 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 I need to do this for myself. Because what's interesting, and I will say, when I started shifting and I started realizing, oh shit, this is me. I'm chasing all the wrong things. I'm trying to validate myself by external validation because I wasn't given the love that I needed from a male figure, from my father. Like, we're going to say it how it is. I really don't care if anyone in my family sees this at this point. My father did not give me the love that I deserved, and I felt like I was worthless. I felt like I wasn't enough, that I wasn't chosen because he never chose me. He never chose me. And I had to understand that because my father didn't choose me, that doesn't mean that I wasn't worthy or that I wasn't lovable. But that was something I took on from a young age because from a young age, I went through a lot of trauma with that parent. And I took on a lot of subconscious beliefs that I wasn't enough, that I had to perform. I had to, be a certain way to be loved. I had to take care of everyone else. A lot of these habits that I developed were because of that connection in my life. And I couldn't really address it, until I got older. And I'm now 27 and, I've gotten to a much better place in my life when it comes to that. And I have been able to manifest connections in my life and reciprocal energy and to be pursued and courted and to be treated the way I want. I know how to attract in men now that respect me, that do prioritize me because I prioritize myself. And that's the biggest thing. And so not to go into my whole story, but that's just a background for you to know that I've been there. I'm not just talking out of my ass. Like I've experienced this. I firsthand have gone through this and I fell down the rabbit hole When I first got into spirituality and manifestation and all of that, where I got into manifestation to manifest a specific person that was not for me. We're going to call it how it is. I was so obsessed with this guy that had ghosted me for years, and I could not understand why he was love bombing me. It was a whole thing. And I thought, okay, we're going to manifest this guy and it's going to work. And it did work. It worked. It did work. I manifested him back. But by the time I did that, I realized I didn't want that. I realized that it wasn't about the person at all. It was about me. It was about what I was trying to seek outside of myself. And the key to all of this is it's all within you. You have all of those feelings that you want to feel with someone else. You have that within you. You're running outside of yourself. And you'll see in like tarot readings and stuff where people say the runner and the chaser, like your person is the runner. It's kind of an interesting thing, because if you really look at it, if you're the chaser, you're actually running away from yourself. So you actually are the runner. You're avoidant as well. If you're attracting an avoidant people, you're an avoidant as well. And that's just my perspective, because you're avoiding something within yourself that is causing you to attract those types of people in. And this is kind of just my thought process. So again, this is me rambling. It's not like a really thought out video. It's just like a topic I wanted to talk about, and hopefully this will, resonate with those that need it. But it's never been about you not being worthy. It's never been about you not being chosen, not being good enough. Oh, that person's better than you. They chose them, so that must mean I'm not good. No. The whole point is you just have to get right with yourself. And a lot of it is that internal work or that internal focus that people are running away from. You don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to put the focus on yourself, because it's easier to run to someone else to make you feel better. It's easy to try to find something else to save you. That could be people, substances, that could be jobs, a title, material things. And, you know, coming from someone who's had to give up a lot of that kind of stuff, like I gave up alcohol almost a year ago. And like that was something I was chasing to not feel certain things, like it doesn't even have to be a person. But the whole point is we're like trying to find this feeling or this like missing piece outside of ourselves. So we run to every other area. It could even be a good habit, like going to the gym. Like, you do that to not feel something. Like we got to sit with ourselves and understand, like, why do I feel this way? Why am I not embracing myself? Why am I not accepting myself? What is going on here? It doesn't mean that you have to go through this extensive healing journey, because here's the thing. Let me cut the crap. We're always healing. We are always learning, and we are always growing. That is part of the human experience. That is human design, okay? We came here, our souls came here to choose to learn certain things and to experience the human life to its fullest. So, all the emotions, the good ones, the bad ones, we came here to experience. We didn't come here to live in rainbows and butterfly land all the time. That's just not, I hate to say this phrase, but it's not realistic. It's just not. Even as woo woo as you are, that there's duality in life. It's not all spiritual. It's not all material. There's a balance. You find the balance in both, and you can create heaven on earth. But it's when you figure that out, And I don't know everything. I'm still learning. So this is just from what I've learned and what I see in my collective. But a lot of people are chasing someone outside of themselves. And I'm going to call it how it is. A lot of people are so worried and wrapped up on, are they going to text me back? Did they choose another girl or a guy? Are they even into me? What did I do wrong? There's nothing wrong with you. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's nothing wrong with you. Even if someone chose someone over you, even if someone cheated on you, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And that's their loss. I'm going to be honest. I'm not justifying how people treat you and saying, oh, well, you attracted this in, so, you have to take accountability. No, I mean, some people are just shitty people, and you unfortunately attract that in the sense of you thought you were worthy of that. You thought that's all you were worth. But the way they treated you, that's still on them. Okay. Let's be real here. Let's, I just don't want to get that misconstrued. But what I do want to say is the way that you're going to find the true inner peace, or that feeling that you want to feel and that you think another person is going to provide you, is in yourself. It's within yourself. And I'm telling you that from firsthand experience. When I took away the noise, I took away the alcohol, I took away the people, I took away the outside influences, I took away the social media and all the dating posts and all the crap that I was feeding my brain instead of listening to just things that actually resonated. You got to be kind of discerning what you're watching and what you're consuming on social media, because when you fall down that rabbit hole of the manifesting a specific person, it can get dark. Not gonna lie. Like, it is. It can cause you to spiral. You have to be very discerning and very careful of what you're watching and what you're taking on, and just really try to limit what you watch. Really only watch one or two people. I'm telling you, it will save you so much energy and time and stress. But when I cut all that out and I started honestly incorporating my higher power, because when I first started in spirituality, when I first started waking up spiritually, I didn't really have a God. Like, I just didn't. I thought I had an idea. I thought God was love, right? I didn't have like the sky daddy, is what some people call it. I didn't have the daddy in the sky. It was to me an essence, and that's what I say now. It still is that. It's an essence to me. It doesn't have a gender. Sometimes I give it a gender. Sometimes I don't. It's personal to me. I call it multiple different things. But when I incorporated my higher power, and I say my higher power because everyone's higher power may look different, and that is totally fine. However, you get to this beautiful energy is your journey. And I'm never going to judge anyone's journey to that. Now, I do get upset when people push their beliefs on others, but that's another story. But anyways, when I started incorporating my higher power and I started surrendering, you know, and getting on my hands and knees some nights and crying to my higher power and going, what is wrong with me? Help me. I don't know what to do. Show me what to do. My higher power laid it out for me. So that is a big missing piece as well. Yes, we create our reality. Yes, we are the operant power, if you want to say that, because I do believe that we have God within us. I do believe that God and us are intertwined. It's an intertwined thing, but I do like to call it co-creating because there is a little bit that's not in your control. I do think that we were given free will, and so our higher power can only really step in if we allow it and we ask for it, right? And so when you start developing a connection to a higher power and you start controlling how you show up, so you do your work, you do your actions, like, okay, I'm going to start being kinder to myself. I'm going to start accepting myself. I'm going to start prioritizing myself. I'm going to start looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I love you. You're a rock star. I freaking love you. Start looking at yourself and loving yourself, because you're all you got, You come here alone, you leave here alone, this earth. And you got to get right with yourself before you can get right with anyone else. The more that you start loving yourself and just being okay with who you are, and realizing that what's in alignment with you will be in alignment with you loving yourself, you'll let go of all the noise, And also, I'm telling you, there were men that I didn't want back, okay? Like, well, I did at one point, but then I started focusing on myself, and I didn't even manifest them. I just started putting the attention on myself, and I just stopped looking for it outside, and all of them came back. I am not trying to say this in an egoic way, but like every single guy that I have like dated or like had some sort of situation with that had done me wrong, or even just, didn't choose me, when I started doing this, they all came back at least once. Did I want any of them? No, because clearly I was different. I changed, and I knew I was worth more than what they could give me, and that's okay. But they came back. They always come back. So don't put the focus on your specific person. Like, oh my God, they're never gonna come back if I like focus on myself and I'm not obsessing over their Instagram and whose pics they're liking and all this stuff. Like, no, that you don't need to worry about that. They will come back at least once, okay? And you'll probably, tell them to let the door hit them on their way out because you're not going to even want it. But for those of you who do want someone, you can have them. You can have them because they're going to show up in the ways that you want them to when you start showing up as the version of yourself that has that, of the version of yourself that doesn't settle. Because let's get real, if you're settling for half effort, if you're not setting boundaries, if you're okay with someone barely appreciating you, barely giving you time of day, and you're just chasing, you're showing them how they can treat you because you're not respecting yourself, and you deserve your self-respect. And that comes with time. And I tell people to do affirmations, and I tell people to listen to sleep tapes, at night for self-love for like 30 to 60 days. And I do think that works. I still stand by that. That is such an easy cheat code to rewire your subconscious, is to listen to affirmations like on YouTube while you sleep for 8 hours for like a couple months. for as long as you want, or for anything, to manifest anything. And that could be even another video, not to plug myself, but I do have a couple love affirmation videos that you can put on loop on YouTube and listen to those while you sleep at night on low volume. That'll get it in there. They've worked for me. But the way that I've gotten to the point where I don't need someone outside of myself, but like if I wanted a boyfriend, here it is. It's not hard for me to manifest a specific person or anyone at this point, because I've I've clicked in my brain. It's not about them, it's about me and what I want and what is how I'm showing up. And because I've given myself all of the things that I wanted in a partner, I'm okay where I'm at. I'm not chasing. And that's why I am attracting the things that I want, because I'm not chasing it. I don't feel the need to even put much effort in, because I've gotten to a point where I respect myself so much. I love the time that I spend with myself. I love getting to experience being in my 20s, like, and getting to know myself and not feeling like I need to be with someone, because I was always like I need to be with someone, and I would compare myself to other people around me and my friends and like people who are getting married and having kids, and I'm like, that's their journey and I'm so happy for them, but everyone's journey is different. And so mine was to heal parts of myself and was to be able to do this and help others too. I love love, and I'm like such a mushy lover girl at heart, but I'm not forcing things, right? And I don't talk about my love life anymore because I just don't like to. It's something that I like to keep on the DL. I've really healed all of those things, and it really just comes from the self-concept work. It really does. And people want to avoid it. People don't want to do it. But even when I do tarot readings, that's what I tell people. It still comes up of like, focus on yourself and they're going to come in. And I can predict things too. And so I will say things like, this person's going to be coming in with a message in the next like 3 days. And what do you need to do for that to happen? You need to just focus on yourself. But I'm always saying that in my readings too, because tarot and manifestation kind of go hand in hand, because it's also a tool of showing where you are, energetically, and reflecting back to you the reality that you're assuming right now as well. Hopefully this is making sense. And if you guys would like me to like actually go into what all this means and like manifestation and all of that, like please let me know down below about what kinds of episodes you want to hear from me, because again, I'm doing this for you guys, and this is also like what I'm really passionate about, is talking about any of this kind of stuff. But we can talk about anything. We can talk about like cats for all I care. This is Mady No Filter. This is anything that we want to talk about, that I want to talk about, that is important to me or just feels like something to talk about for the day. And today this was on my heart because I've been seeing a lot of it in the collective, and I just want you guys to know that you're so worthy and you're so powerful. Like I feel like some of you, I'm like, stop downplaying yourselves. If I could tell myself years ago when I was crying over a guy, like crying because I didn't get a text back, crying because someone left me on red, crying because I didn't feel like I was enough, crying because my dad sucked. Um, you know, I wish I could just tell her, like, it's, you have you. Like, you have you. We're going to be good, girl. We're going to be good. I got you. And so I get to heal that part of myself now, because I get to look back and go, girl, I got you. Like, I got you. We're good. Look at us. Look at us. We're good. We're okay. And guys, I'm not downplaying. I went through a lot that I don't talk about on social media. I just don't. There are parts of my life. This is a highlight reel. I don't talk about everything. And that's for a purpose. I don't think that we should have to talk about every intimate detail of our lives on social media. I think that there is a way of keeping things private too. And I went through a lot of darkness. Went through a lot of darkness to get to this light that I have in me. I went through a lot of darkness. So just know, like, it's not easy for anybody. Like, life is not easy. Life is not this like easy thing. Like, we didn't come here for it to be easy. We just didn't. We would have stayed where we were. Our souls would have been like, nah, I don't really want to do that. We chose to come to earth. We chose to learn lessons and to do certain things, and I do believe in soul contracts. I do believe in that the higher power, there is parts of this that is a bit out of our control. We can help mold it. We can shift things. We can, ask for different things. But I also think that if you have a desire on your heart, it was placed there. Like, you have the desire because you can have it. But remember that it may come in different packaging. Like I said in the last video, like, what you want may not always come out in the way that you think. The guy that I was obsessed with manifesting, when I look at that now, like, I don't want him anymore. That was a time in my life where, like, I understand why I wanted him then. He's a cool dude, I have nothing against him, but it's like, no, I thought that's what I wanted. But then my higher power showed me what I could have. I was limiting myself. And now that I know what's out there, I am so grateful because I get to experience someone so much better than that, right? And again, that's not a knock on that person, but we just weren't in alignment. And I get to experience someone who is in alignment with me, who is in alignment with this version of myself, and who will respect me and treat me the ways that I believe I deserve, because I do deserve it and I believe that I deserve it. And I want all of you to get to that point too. And so I hope that this helped, and I hope you got something out of this. I hope it wasn't just me rambling. I really do hope that this helps, and I'm intending that it helps whoever watches it. Just the energy too, that you feel the love through the screen, because you are love. You're a divine expression of love because your higher power created you. You deserve to be here. Your soul is beautiful. And again, if you align with my energy, you're a cool person. You're a cool human. Okay, if we're aligned, if you align with my videos. So I love you. If no one's told you today, I love you. And I want you to love you too, because the world is waiting for you to love yourself. That specific person is waiting for you to love yourself. That is what is going on. They're waiting on you. So if you can show up in that, and it could take a day, truly, you'll get what you want. You'll get your person, but you'll get more than that. I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys are liking the podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. I love you.